What's up, everybody? Back for another Hawkeye Star Rail video, and I'm gonna be 500% with y'all. This video is a day late, mostly because I actually forgot that this was actually dropping. I normally don't work today. Well, I guess almost yesterday. It's getting there. It's getting late in the day, but I normally don't work today, and I did because I actually have a few days off on the weekend. Totally didn't call out so I could play the new Pokemon game. No, totally not. I'm definitely doing something very important. But regardless, though, I don't normally work, so it kind of skipped my mind what day it was and what week it was, aka reset week. So I woke up and I was like, I'll probably record when I get home because I get home a little bit earlier than normal, which, newsflash, I actually didn't get home and immediately record, so it is what it is. But they had me doing all sorts of stuff at work. I was tired, bro. Anyway, enough about that, though. Yeah, I just totally forgot. I opened the game, saw Pure Fiction, and look at the clock. I had to leave in like 20 minutes, and I was like, okay, well, that is a tonight thing. So, do apologize for getting this out a bit later than normal. Um, One thing for certain, though, I feel like this one's easy. I might be a bit biased because I just straight up used Dot, and then I used the Castoris team, right? But my Castoris Evernight team is still all E0, right? And then the only S1s on that team are March and Castoris herself. So I feel like a lot of people who fully invest into that team will just have a better team, like damage output or even synergy, with her having like Tribute E1 or maybe having Tribute Light Cone so she does more damage. Regardless, though, easy, easy 80k, bro. Easy. Like, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think it was easy, but I feel like this one definitely had easier time. Let's go over the actual buffs, though. So, after an enemy target is defeated by an enemy unit, all allies gain 1 stack of Resound. When entering Surging Grit, consume all Resound. For each stack of Resound, deals 1 instance of a set amount of damage to a random enemy target. During the Surging Grit, increases the enemy target's damage taken by 50%. And then after they are defeated by an enemy unit, all allies additionally gain 1 stack of Resound. Once you hit 10, consume all of them and deal 1 instance of a set amount of damage to a random enemy target per stack, right? It's pretty much you just get kills and do more damage. It's pretty basic stuff, right? So no overall shilling so far, right? Now, the passives that we're getting are going to be during Surging Grit, when an ally target uses their ultimate, increases all allies' damage dealt by 50% second to 5 times. This effect lasts until Surging Grit ends. Second one is upon entering Surging Grit, immediately recover 3 skill points. During Surging Grit, enemy targets take 30% more dot. And then every time a dot is received by an enemy target, additionally accumulate 1 grit value for allies. And the last one is during Surging Grit, increase the allies' speed by 20%. After using a skill, apply 1 stack of Reset to all allies. Then after allies use skills to attack enemy targets, every enemy target hit additionally accumulates 3 grit value for all allies. 3 grit value is actually pretty damn good considering every enemy target hit. So if you have an AoE skill, you could pretty much just instantly pop Resound instantly. Especially for someone like a Noxa, that would probably go absolutely crazy, right? And then, you get 5 grit value as well. So that is pretty nice there. Obviously, there's the same on each side, right? So let's jump over to the funny little tier list thing we got going on, because that's still the easiest way for me to talk about characters. So first things first, we have the characters in meta. These characters are going to be the filler in your team, I guess, is not the greatest word to put it, but your supports, your sustains, whatnot. Technically, like your sub DPSs for like someone like Jade or Cypher, right? Or Aventurine. Really depends on how you build them, right? But yeah, they're just there, right? I mean, we're pretty much just ranking the DPSs as like the main like icon unit or the leader, I guess, of your teams, right? So it'd be someone like High Ceilings. Obviously, High Ceilings is going to be good in both of these because they're still showing dot a little bit. I'll also go ahead and put Kafka as well because that's Linksha. I can't apparently grab the right character. Kafka as well. I mean, we could technically put Black Swan because she's part of that trio, so we'll put her there. But they work for both of them, right? Obviously, some of them are going to be weak to physical, some of them are going to be weak to electric, and I think there's like 1 or 2 weak to wind, right? But regardless, Dot should work very well regardless. Evernight's going to be very, very good in both of them. I mean, she's technically the current shield unit because she's literally the banner right now. I mean, Donhang is also like slightly shield in this as well because this is going to be a day or 2 before he comes out. Phanon's good in both, right? He does struggle a little bit because it is Pure Fiction, but he's still absolutely destroying everything. The skill stuff works out very well for him. The ultimate stuff can also work as well, just depending on which one you want. Castoris is going to be very good. We're just going to put her in this one. I mean, realistically, we could put her in both, right? It really depends, right? If you run her with Evernight, right? How much synergy you got going on, but Castor should be able to absolutely obliterate these regardless, right? They don't have any quantum resistance. You don't have to break them, so it really doesn't matter what they're weak to. Ironically, I say that because Nox is also good in both, especially with that skill one. You pop a skill and you get a bunch of stacks, and then you pop a skill again, especially if you have Cerebra on the team popping all those skills, then you just pretty much almost get carried by the resound going off over and over, right? Herta is good in both, Big W, Herta. I mean, it's pure fiction, right? Another character who's actually pretty good is Argenti. Ironically, Argenti versus Argenti. I don't know why they decided to drop Argenti as a character and then make his boss fight immediately weak to him, which is really funny, right? Another character that unfortunately kind of fell off, I won't lie, is Break. You might notice Fugue is not up here. It's because Rappa is going to struggle against both these bosses. Firefly has the fire implant, right? But you really want to have characters who are going to be able to hit them regardless of Firefly's implant. While Argenti has that, Firefly isn't the greatest in pure fiction anymore. This is obviously keeping E0 like S1 in mind, right? And while Argenti can still cheese it, especially when you're using the Herta with him, Firefly unfortunately cannot unless you have some dupes on your characters, right? I feel like a lot of the characters are almost just a both category, right? Because we have Dot, who's feeling carried by the buff, right? We have Evernight, who's good against both. We have Phanon, who does, and Anoxa, who don't care about weakness. We have Castoris, best unit in fucking history for some reason, because I keep buffing her. And then Herta, who's good against both fast. Can we talk about this? So granted, Herta does struggle a little bit because none of the buffs are super well tailored for her, right? I mean, she can kind of use the ultimate one, I guess, just to get more damage, or maybe even the skill one to get extra speed or something, right? But none of them are showing Herta, but I mean, it's pure fiction, right? And she's an AoE unit, come on now. Now, the issue I have, right, is looking at these units is, if we look at it, I don't think Jinglu is going to be incredible in this. I'd put her in a maybe, right? But I don't want to make it just for her. Blade is okay, I guess you could if you got a beat up Blade, you could probably do it. Akron is just struggling. She doesn't really have too much going on for her. Firefly's not going to do it. A lot of the DPSs that are older are not going to be super great on this time around, right? Not saying you can't clear it, but obviously these are the teams I recommend that will have the easiest time and are the best units to use it. So I feel kind of disingenuous being oh, Akron should be able to handle this, right? And then it's most people's Akron teams would probably not be able to get a great score on it. But like I said, it depends on what you got, right? If you have dupes in your characters, which I highly suggest that if you are free to play, that you pick a support like Triby, where you've seen the calcs, people are saying, hey, you want Triby is really good, you get the supports. That way you don't have to summon for dupes on your DPS to make them feel as runnable, right? Always vertically invest, never horizontal invest, which is technically what I do just to show you characters, unless I really like a team. Other than that, I feel like there's not too much else to talk about this video. Yeah, Saber could probably do decent. Here, let me make a new tier. Add row below. I'll make a could pull it off. I feel like Saber could pull it off, Blade could pull it off, Jinglu could pull it off, Firefly could pull it off, and then Agli could probably pull it off. I feel like those are the characters I feel like if you had a really cracked out build, you could probably get a passing score, which a passing score for me is at least half the points needed. That way, if you get the same exact score on the second or first phase, then you'd be chilling. But yeah, a lot of the units, just aren't really suited for pure fiction, like Boot Hill, or slower characters that need to get hit. Like Yun Li could counter, right? But she's a bit older, so her damage is falling off a little bit. I'm sure I'll immediately open Twitter to see if Phase Out absolutely destroy this for no reason, right? But other than that, this is pretty much where my thoughts are on pure fiction. I personally feel like it's the easiest one, but people keep saying that's MOC. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But anyway, I'm ending the video there. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.